The streets of Chicago are in shock once again, and this time it hits real close to home for Lil Durk and the entire OTF camp. Word just broke that THF Bayzoo, one of Durk's closest friends and most trusted soldiers, was reportedly killed, and fans everywhere are left asking one big question. Why hasn't Durk said a word? For years, Bayzoo wasn't just another name in the crew. He was the main sniper, the one who stood 10 toes down beside Durk through every beef, every court case, and every loss. From the streets to the studio, Bayzoo was always there holding it down for OTF, and his loyalty was known across Chicago. But now that he's gone, the silence from Durk's camp has everyone confused, emotional, and even suspicious. Rumors started flying right after the news dropped, some saying Durk is staying quiet out of respect, others thinking there might be more to the story. Meanwhile, OTF Boogie and THF Crack have been trying to hold it together, sending out messages of strength and unity, reminding everyone that real soldiers move in silence. But fans aren't letting it go that easily. Many are saying, if Bayzoo was really Durk's day one, why no post? Why no tribute? Social media is split. Some call it cold, others say Durk is just grieving privately. No matter which side you're on, one thing's clear. This loss just changed the energy around OTF forever. The streets are watching, the fans are talking, and the silence is getting louder by the minute. Because when it comes to THF Bayzoo, his name will always hold weight, both in Chicago and in the legacy of OTF. The streets of Chicago have always been no stranger to tragedy, and for those following the story of Lil Durk and his OTF crew, the latest news about THF Bayzoo has hit like a gut punch. The young rapper, who had built a reputation as one of Durk's most loyal allies and the group's main sniper, is now reportedly dead, leaving fans and the streets in utter shock. This isn't just another headline. For anyone familiar with the inner workings of OTF and the THF affiliates, Bayzoo's presence was pivotal, a backbone of loyalty, protection, and reputation that few could ever match. To understand why his death is causing such an uproar, you have to go back to the history of Lil Durk and THF Bayzoo. The two grew up in the same violent streets of Chicago, surrounded by rival gangs, systemic struggles, and an environment where loyalty meant survival. Bayzoo quickly earned a reputation as someone who didn't just talk, he acted. Whether it was defending the crew's name or backing Durk in the deadliest situations, his presence alone demanded respect. Fans often called him Durk's right hand, the silent enforcer who made sure everyone around knew OTF wasn't to be played with. When news broke about Bayzoo's death, social media erupted. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with tributes, rumors, and speculation. Many fans couldn't comprehend why Durk hadn't immediately posted something to honor his fallen friend. After all, in hip-hop culture, public tributes to lost brothers are almost expected, and when they don't happen, silence can speak volumes. But those close to the OTF camp say this silence isn't disrespect. It's strategic, it's respectful, and it's about handling grief in a way that keeps the crew solid. Durk, after all, has been through enough pain publicly to know that words alone can't honor the legacy of someone like Bayzoo. Meanwhile, other members of the crew, like OTF Boogie and THF Crack, have been seen publicly showing strength and unity. Clips emerged online of them at local events and in private gatherings, paying subtle respects to Bayzoo while simultaneously reminding everyone that OTF and THF remain solid despite the loss. These moments are a testament to the crew's code, loyalty above everything, even in the face of loss. The tension in Chicago isn't just emotional. Bayzoo's death represents a shift in power dynamics on the streets. With him gone, rival groups might think there's a weakness in OTF, but insiders argue the opposite. The crew is rallying. The silence from Durk and the public displays from other members serve as a warning. OTF is grieving, but they are not broken. Every move, every post, every video is calculated to maintain their street credibility while honoring a fallen soldier. Fans and social media users have been split on how to interpret the silence. Some argue that Durk's lack of a post shows a cold detachment. a side of him fans rarely see. Others believe it's a sign of deep, private mourning, a method of showing respect without turning Bayzoo's death into a public spectacle. The reality is probably somewhere in between. Anyone familiar with Durk knows he operates on his own rules, balancing street respect with celebrity scrutiny. Beyond the crew, Bayzoo's death has sent shockwaves through the broader hip-hop community. Artists, friends, and collaborators have posted cryptic messages, some offering condolences, others sharing memories. The reactions highlight how influential Bayzoo was, not just as a member of OTF, but as a figure who commanded respect through his actions and loyalty. In the streets of Chicago, his name is more than a headline. It's a symbol of a generation of young men who live fast, ride hard, and face tragedy with unwavering loyalty. It's also worth noting that the circumstances around Bayzoo's death are murky. Some reports claim he was killed in retaliation for a previous dispute, while others suggest it was an isolated attack targeting him specifically. With limited verified information, the streets and fans are left to piece together the story from scraps, rumors, and videos that surface online. In many ways, this confusion only amplifies the tragedy. It reminds everyone how unpredictable life can be in the world that Durk and his crew navigate every day. What remains undeniable is Bayzoo's legacy. Even in death, his influence resonates through the actions and loyalty of the OTF crew. Boogie, Crack, and other affiliates continue to carry his memory in their moves, videos, and social media posts. The code of the streets is clear. Fallen soldiers are remembered through action, not just words. And Durk, despite the silence, is showing that he's honoring Bayzoo in his own way, keeping the crew tight, focused, and ready to respond if necessary. The story of Lil Durk and THF Bayzoo is far from over. This is only part one of a deeper narrative that's shaking Chicago and the hip-hop world alike. The aftermath of this tragedy will have lasting effects on the OTF camp, street dynamics, and even Durk's public persona. Fans can expect a mix of tributes, subtle signals, and perhaps future projects that reflect the pain, loyalty, and strength of this moment. For now, the streets mourn, the fans speculate, and OTF remains silent yet solid. A living testament to the idea that real loyalty doesn't always need words to be understood. Bayzoo may be gone, but his legacy is firmly cemented in Chicago, in OTF, and in the hearts of everyone who respected his role as the main sniper, protector, and brother in life and in death. The streets of Chicago are still buzzing from the news of THF Bayzoo's death, and as Part 2 unfolds, it becomes clear that the impact of his loss extends far beyond just OTF. Bayzoo wasn't just a crew member, he was a symbol of loyalty, protection, and street credibility. His presence had always been a stabilizing force within the THF camp, and now, with him gone, everyone is trying to measure the vacuum left behind. Lil Durk's silence continues to dominate conversations online. While fans clamor for a public post or tribute, those closer to the situation understand that Durk has always dealt with loss privately. Over the years, Durk has experienced the deaths of multiple close associates, and every time, he has chosen a path of discretion mixed with subtle action, signaling respect while maintaining strategic positioning on the streets. Social media silence in this context is not coldness. It's a reflection of street wisdom and mourning done on one's own terms. Meanwhile, OTF affiliates like OTF Boogie and THF Crack are stepping into the spotlight, showing both grief and strength. Videos surfaced online of Boogie walking through Chicago neighborhoods, paying homage to Bayzoo with hand gestures and tattoos in view, while THF Crack sent cryptic messages about keeping the circle tight and the code never dies. Every move is calculated to remind both fans and rivals that OTF remains unified despite this tragedy. The streets know that when someone like Bayzoo is lost, the remaining crew must show solidarity. And that's exactly what is happening. The death of Bayzoo has also sparked conversations about loyalty and the unspoken rules of Chicago street life. In many ways, his killing reflects a harsh reality. Even the most respected soldiers are vulnerable, and no one is untouchable. Yet, the reactions of Durk and his affiliates show that loyalty is not defined by fear, but by how the crew responds in the aftermath. Rather than reacting impulsively, they are holding their ground, sending subtle warnings, and ensuring that Bayzoo's legacy is honored through action. Social media has been a double-edged sword throughout the situation. On one hand, fans have been leaving heartfelt tributes, sharing memories of Bayzoo's influence on OTF and Durk personally. On the other, some have speculated and criticized Durk for not posting immediately, showing a disconnect between celebrity expectation and street code. In the world of hip-hop, public displays are often expected, but in Chicago, the rules are different. Silence can carry more weight than words. Durk's measured response reflects a deep understanding of this dynamic, reminding everyone that OTF moves on its own terms. Rival crews are also taking notice. Bayzoo's death could have sparked chaos. But instead, OTF's quiet unity is sending a clear message. The crew is still lethal, loyal, and in control. While outsiders might misinterpret the silence as weakness, insiders recognize the strength in restraint. The streets of Chicago are watching closely, and every social media post, every video, and every movement is analyzed for signs of retaliation or weakness. And so far, the only thing being communicated is solidarity. Even beyond the streets, Bayzoo's death is influencing the broader hip-hop community. Fellow artists and collaborators have posted subtle tributes, showing respect for the man who was more than just a rapper. He was a protector, a soldier, and a brother. These gestures reinforce the idea that Bayzoo's impact wasn't limited to OTF, but extended to everyone who respected loyalty and authenticity in the game. Amid all the speculation, one thing is undeniable. Bayzoo's legacy will shape the way OTF operates moving forward. His death serves as a reminder of the fragility of life in Chicago, but also of the unbreakable bonds that define these crews. Durk, Boogie, Crack, and the rest of the affiliates are not just mourning. They are strategically positioning themselves, showing the streets that they honor Bayzoo's memory not with reckless displays, but with calculated action that strengthens the crew. The tragic event also forces fans to confront the darker side of Chicago hip-hop culture. It's a world where loss is common, loyalty is tested daily, and survival depends on both reputation and action. THF Bayzoo's death is a stark example of how even the strongest soldiers are vulnerable, yet it also highlights the strength and discipline of OTF, who continue to maintain their focus while honoring their fallen brother. As this story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the impact of Bayzoo's death will resonate for months, if not years. From OTF's internal dynamics to street relationships across Chicago, every move will be scrutinized, every post dissected, and every silence interpreted. But if there's one lesson from Part 2 of this saga, it's that true loyalty doesn't always need words. OTF is grieving, yes, but they are also demonstrating that the crew is still solid, still united, and still moving forward, with Bayzoo's legacy at the heart of every decision. The streets are watching, fans are debating, and hip-hop culture continues to grapple with loss and loyalty. For Lil Durk and OTF, the real story is just beginning, and how they navigate the aftermath of Bayzoo's death will define the crew's reputation for years to come. The balance of grief, respect, and strategy has never been more critical, and Chicago is paying attention. As the dust begins to settle after the shocking news of THF Bayzoo's death, the streets of Chicago are still processing the loss. While Part 1 and Part 2 focused on the immediate impact and the crew's response, Part 3 dives into the ripple effects, both online and in the neighborhoods where OTF holds influence. Fans and followers are split. Some admire Lil Durk's silence, interpreting it as a mark of respect and strategic restraint. Others question why he hasn't publicly addressed the loss of someone who was reportedly his main sniper and loyal confidant. Either way, the silence speaks louder than words. Durk knows the streets watch every move, every post, and every omission, and his measured approach signals that OTF remains focused and disciplined even in the face of tragedy. Meanwhile, OTF affiliates like Boogie and THF Crack continue to send subtle messages of unity. Videos of them paying homage in their neighborhoods, posting cryptic messages online, and keeping the crew tight illustrate one simple truth: loyalty is action, not words. Bayzoo's legacy lives on through their strength, their decisions, and their unwillingness to let his death create chaos within the group. The broader hip-hop community has taken notice. Fellow artists and fans alike are leaving tributes, sharing stories, and reflecting on the life of a man who is more than just a crew member. He was a soldier, protector, and brother. His death is a reminder of the harsh realities of street life, the fragility of life in Chicago, and the enduring importance of loyalty. In the end, THF Bayzoo may be gone, but his influence on OTF and the streets of Chicago is undeniable. Lil Durk and his crew continue to move forward, quietly honoring him while maintaining their grip on the streets and their reputation. The story isn't over. The ripple effects of this loss will continue to shape Chicago's streets and the OTF legacy for years to come. Yo, if you've been following the tragic news about THF Bayzoo, you already know the streets are buzzing, and the story isn't over yet. Lil Durk and OTF are showing the world that loyalty runs deep, and every move they make in the aftermath is a message to the streets. We stay solid, no matter what. At Rap Soap Eeks, we bring you the rawest updates from Chicago's hip-hop scene. From Lil Durk and OTF to every twist, beef, and street drama you won't see anywhere else. So don't just scroll past, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and smash that like button. Stay locked in with Rap Soap X for every exclusive clip, reaction, and story breaking in the streets and the rap game. Remember, real loyalty doesn't need words, and we're here to show you the full picture. The full picture.